Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gimme That Take, the fastest growing LIV Golf podcast of 2023. Stick around for more takes like this.
Yeah.
with Patty and,
So,
and Rory. Yeah.
I mean, if you live under a rock and haven't seen the T Flick controversy, uh, out on the range, believe it was. I don't know if it was practice round. I believe it was the last day of practice round, right? I
Yep.
think it was on Wednesday.
Yep.
They were out there. Rory was messing around on his knees like usual, and he was checking out his little range. What do you call it?
Crackman.
Yeah. And his caddy was standing behind him. Again, him on the floor, caddy behind, saying, his ritual routine here. He was checking out some stuff, and Patrick Reed came up to first his caddy, who was, connected eyes first, and shook his hand, and he said hi, and everything was cordial at that point. And then he tried to there's no audio, so nobody knows exactly what happened besides those two. Apparently, Rory has no recollection of anything that happened, so it never happened according to him. But Patrick Reed, extended a hand and tried to get Rory involved in that to say hi and how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. It's the first time we've seen each other since jumping to LIV, and he ignored him. I mean, there's nothing else. Completely ignored him. So what does Patty Reed do? Starts walking away. He's like, okay, whatever. I get it. No problem. It's fine. We're good. Had to dig into his pocket, pick out an aces tee, flick it his way. Now Rory, again, in everything you read, says nothing hit me, nothing came my way. I don't even think it happened. Somebody saw. Come on, dude.
We watched the video.
Come on, man. That's just ridiculous. You saw it. You didn't want to make eye contact with the tee because you knew what was going on. But oh man, I mean, if you didn't see that, you got to go watch the video. Hello and welcome back to Gimme That Take, episode 2. This week, Aaron's going to have some interesting thoughts on the Doomsday Clock. We'll throw in our thoughts on that to start off the show. The Rory and Patty Reed T-Flick heard around the world and how it affects the Hero Dubai Desert Classic that's going on currently this week. Where the LIV guys stack up on the leaderboard. Some Anthony Kim rumors. Is he going to join LIV? Is he not going to join LIV? We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Aaron and I both pick our 2023 teams for the LIV Golf season and go over what courses we think that each of our teams will shine on this year. We talk about possibly getting out and seeing a live event at Trump Bedminster. We'll see how that works out with tickets. Go over the LIV schedule for 2023, see what stacks up, and, this just in, Jerome did just get fined $12,500 for not showing up to work this week, so there'll be more information on that. And listen, just sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 2 of Gimme That Take.
All right. Have you heard about this thing? Do you know anything about the Manhattan Project, Mac? Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So Manhattan Project is all about like nuclear technology, and it's linked back to Einstein. And then if you're like a comic book guy, I think like Showtime or HBO did a series on this with like Mr. Manhattan, whatever. Anyway, the Doomsday Clock moved ahead to 90 seconds from midnight. If you don't know what the Doomsday Clock is, this like obscure atomic science and security board, something like that. They pop up like every once in a while and tell us how close we are to nuclear holocaust, which is depressing, I guess. But
sure is.
Yeah, apparently we're closer than ever to end times, and they're talking about like Russia and the Ukraine and whatnot, and this is how they've moved the clock. It started off at like, I don't know, only like 15 minutes to midnight, like 30 years ago. So it's been the longest 15 minutes of all time. Anyway, we're sitting at 90 seconds. And do we need this clock, or is this total bullshit? Thoughts?
Oh boy. I mean, you look at the way the world is today. It's not not an encouraging place to bring up kids. We both have kids, and it's scary. I feel scared and bad for the future that is there for them. It's so different than we were kids. It's entirely different than when our parents were kids. With everything going on with Russia and Ukraine and everywhere else in the world, I feel like every day is a blessing to be alive because you just don't know. You don't know at this point.
Where's the 3-letter tours doomsday clock right now as LIV breathes down its throat?
Oh,
and
boy.
They today, we're recording on Saturday. This week they started paying their players for clicks and likes on social media, kind of similar to the LIV pay your players before they even swing a golf club, huh?
Right. I really think that the PGA, I know we don't like saying it out loud, but I really feel like they're going to start, they're going to have to, they're backed into a corner, and they're going to have to start making adjustments to make players happy. Otherwise, people are going to start jumping ship left and right. I know everybody, oh no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's PGA Tour players and they know, like John Rahm and those guys who talk it up and this is where I belong. This is the tour. This is why I play, like Sergio and Sevi and those guys who are Spanish. John Rahm always says, that's what I want. It's all about the heritage and the history behind everything. Listen, come on. It's hard to believe. I didn't think half the guys that jumped ship already would have. So it's only going to grow. I really feel that way. So,
well, here we are with LIV, like basically declaring nuclear war on that other tour. And our podcast is worldwide. So if you live in any of these 9 nuclear armed states, the United States, Russia, China, India, Pakistan, France, Britain, Israel, or North Korea, give us at least like 2 years to get our feet underneath us on this podcast so we can maybe make $5, and then we can blow up the nice. Or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, it's expensive.
Speaking of foreign countries, here Dubai Desert Classic.
Oh.
Did you check out the leaderboard?
Sure did. My man Richard Bland. He's I think he's on the Cleeks in LIV, and he's number 1. He's leading the way right now. I think there's 2 other guys that are at 10 under. You got 3 LIV guys, including Rory, right? Which is nice. I know he's not a LIV guy. I mean, with him in that pack at 7 under. I think it's Wiesberger, Patrick Reed, which is great, and Ian Poulter. Ian Poulter is also in that mix. So it's a nice, tight little LIV leaderboard, and I like to see what transpires here. But
yeah, I mean, okay, so no one's watching this because it's on at like 2:30 in the morning Eastern,
right?
And I love the 3-letter tour saying that, like, oh my God, our stars, that we showcase our stars, and their golden child's first event is on the other side of the globe where no one's watching.
Right.
I think Dubai missed a real opportunity here with the 3rd round. Patty Reed, Rory McIlroy, both sitting T7 -8 going into round 3.
Back.
Yeah, going into round 3, and they put them in back-to-back groups instead of putting them in the same group. What a swing and a miss!
Crazy, just stupidity on their part, right? I mean, come on.
If you haven't seen the video. I guess, yeah. Give us the breakdown here, if for those who aren't paying attention to golf still in January.
Yeah,
with Patty and Rory. Yeah,
I mean, if you live under a rock and haven't seen the T-Flick controversy, out on the range, believe it was. I don't know if it was practice round. I believe it was the last day of practice round, right?
Yep.
I think it was on Wednesday.
Yep.
They were out there. Rory was messing around on his knees like usual, and he was checking out his little range, what do you call it?
TrackMan.
Yeah. And his caddy was standing behind him. Again, him on the floor, caddy behind, saying, his ritual routine here. He was checking out some stuff, and Patrick Reed came up to first his caddy, who was, connected eyes first, and shook his hand, and he said hi, and everything was cordial at that point. And then he tried to, apparently, there's no audio, so nobody knows exactly what happened besides those 2. Apparently, Rory has no recollection of anything that happened, so it never happened according to him. But he, Patrick Reed, extended a hand and tried to get Rory involved in that, to say hi and how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. It's the first time we've seen each other since jumping to LIV, and he ignored him. I mean, there's nothing else. Completely ignored him. So what does Patty Reed do? Starts walking away. He's like, okay, whatever. I get it. No problem. It's fine. We're good. Had to dig into his pocket, pick out an aces tee, flick it his way. Now, Rory, again, in everything you read, says, nothing hit me. Nothing came my way. I don't even think it happened. Somebody saw. Come on, dude.
We watched the video.
Come on, man. That's just ridiculous. You saw it. You didn't want to make eye contact with the tee because you knew what was going on. But, oh, man. I mean, if you didn't see that, you got to go watch the video.
And Rory's such an arrogant, disrespectful, just totally. He's upset over being subpoenaed or getting some kind of court
Christmas
document
Eve,
on Christmas Eve. Like, come on, man! Like that 3 seconds of your life really made a big difference. And you think Patrick Reed really said, like, "Hey, man, why don't you do this on Christmas Eve?" This is all he's got litigation against like 800 people or something like that, and so his lawyers are just handing these things out left and right, and Rory's just happened to fall. Let's talk about Rory versus Patty and who should ignore who, because last I checked, Rory's last major was 3,093 days ago at that PGA championship, and Patty boy, he won the 2018 Masters 1,756 days ago. So who's more relevant in the majors?
In the majors, absolutely. I mean, you can't discredit the season Rory had last year. All right, we're not here to praise Rory by any means, but you can't discredit the phenomenal season, right?
When half the best players aren't playing on your tour.
But that's what keeps the fire going, right? Because it doesn't matter. Patty Reed, Captain America, right? Amazing in the Ryder Cup. He fires us up. He's the bad boy.
I'd rather watch Reed. I'd rather watch Reed play around. I don't care how good Rory's playing.
I mean, he'll take an ice pick to your side 10 times out of 10, and he'll get you going. He'll light the fire under you, and that's what makes him great. He is how I see, like, one player is how I see the entirety of LIV, right? That's what it is. It's just fun. It's crazy. It's wild, and that's people like Reed bring it over. It's amazing. It gives you that Ryder Cup feel, having teams and things of that nature. So I love it.
You're learning how to podcast here. Set me up for the transition quick on the Ryder Cup and Captain America. Anthony Kim, big rumors. Man, we haven't seen Anthony Kim in it feels like 10 years. I don't even know how long.
2012.
2012. It really was 10 years. Holy crap.
2012, almost 11 years ago. This season will be 11 years. Yeah.
I can't, outside of Tiger, I can't remember one guy's quick little burst onto the scene run like Anthony Kim. I mean, it's literally Captain America, running down the fairway with the American flag.
Absolutely.
That's how hype people got for Anthony.
There's not a golf fan that doesn't like Anthony Kim.
No,
it's true.
No, for sure not. But you kind of dug into these rumors and found out what?
I don't think it's definitely just a rumor at this point. What I read, I don't know how viable the source is, but I was reading that his friend, he had told a friend that LIV wasn't off the table, but not necessarily a go-ahead either. So it's kind of in limbo right now. I don't know if it's actually going to come to fruition or not, but what does he have to lose?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he come over to LIV, have a new, another start here, and have a really good chance of winning in a team environment? I think it'd be great for him.
Oh yeah, he's cut out for being a team captain on LIV. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
I don't know. There's rumors about some kind of insurance settlement and all this stuff from his injury, and maybe there's like a big chunk of money that he might have to say goodbye to if he were to show that he could be a professional golfer again. So maybe there's some language in here.
Okay. I didn't read that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the other 3-letter tour versus LIV. Maybe LIV is going to be the only place he can actually go to play and not go against the settlement or whatever for the injury that he had.
Makes sense.
Definitely a name to keep an eye on, and we will certainly be rooting for Anthony Kim to show up on LIV sometime here before their season gets started in a month.
Absolutely.
All right, so if you guys have hung with us this long in this podcast, I'm Aaron. He's Mac. No Jerome this week. He's actually playing indoor golf somewhere. So good for him.
His wife.
Yeah, good for him. Good for him.
Good for him.
Yeah. On today's episode, we're gonna just kind of give you a good overview of LIV if you've not been introduced to the format. Kind of talk about some of the top names, maybe look at last season briefly, kind of look ahead to this season. But also the most important thing, we are going to pledge our allegiance to one of these LIV teams, and they're going to be our teams. So plenty of options to choose from, lots of big name players doing awesome things. So all right, let's get into the format. Let's start there. Much different than the other tour. This is there are concurrent events going on. So there's a team event and an individual event every single time out. 12 teams, 48 players are playing in each tournament. So much smaller fields than the average PGA tournament. Obviously, the 3 rounds versus the 4 rounds, where the name came from. 14 events this year. Nobody gets cut.
Right, no cuts.
Yeah, that's really cool because if you're going to an event, you want to see, if you have tickets for Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday or whenever, you want to see the guys, the big name guys. Even if they're not in contention, you want to get up on the tee box and watch Phil smoke a ball down the fairway right by you. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want that?
Right, Phil in last place, but being able to watch him pull off magic, with his wedges, you want to see that. You pay for that, and having the team aspect of it, you're in it. You're always in it.
That's right.
So it's nice.
It gets a little convoluted there, as far as the team scoring goes. Best 2 scores on Friday, best 3 scores Saturday, Sunday, something like that. You got to follow closely to follow the score, but the LIV production crew did a great job last season keeping you updated on what was in play on what hole, because last year, and I hope they do this year, they did a shotgun start, and so everybody's out on the course at the same time.
I'm sure that won't change.
I hope it doesn't, because that was really
phenomenal.
Cool. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite things about LIV last year. Was knowing that the event was going to. I didn't get a chance to go to a live event, but if you get the chance to go to a live event, knowing that it's going to be 5 hours, and that's your 5 hours, and you're going to get to see the entirety of the day in 5 hours,
right?
That's amazing. Like, you don't have to get to the golf course at 4:30 in the morning to see somebody play, and then there's a whole bunch of nobodies playing for 2.5 hours on the course, and then the leaders come out later. So everybody starting at the same time was.
And you have the hole counter. You know how many holes are left. It's different. It's different, and it's neat. It's very tight, clean, and like, you got a 150-yard shot into the green, where on the other tour, everybody's quiet. Signs go up. Shh. You got Jay-Z playing in the background. You got people popping bottles, drinking beers, yelling, screaming while a guy's hitting a 150-yard shot. I mean, come on. Really?
I want to say
I play like that.
I do. I want to play like that.
I wish there was people everywhere. I want to play like that. I would love golf even more if I could go out to my local course and have 500 people blasting music, popping, beers, chugging down out of a beer helmet. That Happy Gilmore style, give me it every day.
I want to say that I don't know who wouldn't like that, but I do know exactly who wouldn't like that, and because I
could ramble off a list.
Yeah, I've paired up with dudes on the golf course who are like, shh. I'm like, it's only us, man. Like, who are you shushing? Like, who cares if the guy's talking on the tee box next to your green? Come on, get over it. Get over yourself. Of course, lots of money at stake. Lots more money. The team, there was like $50 million in team prizes last year, $30 million in individual prizes, and like each event themselves had, I think 25 million. Yeah, 25 million. So 25 million in prize money every event, which is ridiculous amount of money.
Insane.
$30 million split up between the top 3 individuals at the end of the season, and $50 million split up through all the teams. I think $1 million to 12th place. So just
big money.
This is their careers, right? And so guys can come on over to LIV who spent 10 years playing on the tour and show up and beat their career earnings in 2 tournaments
Yeah.
Easily. And they didn't have to win any of them.
Yeah.
With the team cuts and all that, guys were making like $7, $8, $11 million last year who had like career earnings of like 4 million. So
I mean, even the big guys like DJ, I think he made in 4 tournaments last year. I think he made what he made the previous year. I believe that was what I read, which is crazy.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
But money. That's if you don't believe that people want that, you're just like
again, like we said in the first episode, there's other contributors, I'm sure. Like a lot of these guys rather play a much less schedule, be guaranteed money, no cut, thing like that. But when it comes down to it, we're talking money.
So we touched on that team aspect, and 12 teams, names to be determined whether they'll stay. We'll get to that a little bit later when we start to pick our teams. 4 aces, champions of 2022, captained by Dustin Johnson. I think you know who he is. The Cleeks, captained by a U.S. Open winner that we watched,
Marty Keimer.
We watched that in person. The Crushers, Bryson, of course. The Fireballs, Sergio. High Flyers with Phil Mickelson as their captain. The Ironheads with Kevin Na. Majestics, Lee Westwood. That's a stout ass team, actually. Westwood, Poulter, Stenson, and Horsfield. The Niblicks with Hudson Swafford. The Punch with Wade Ormsby. The Smash with Brooks. The Stingers with Louis Oosthuizen. And the Torque with, I saved this name for last, Tanahara. What's his first name? Hidito? I can't. He's that one's gonna haunt me. Sorry, Tanahara.
Now, I do have a side. Have you heard if Bubba's gonna play this year?
Not seen anything about Bubba playing.
Okay.
I've seen him on social media, kind of.
He's all in. He's all in live, and I love it. But
he is.
And he was fun watching commentating last year.
Yeah, he's selling the product for sure. I'm not sure. I mean, he would. Does he fit into this tour?
I mean,
yeah, he's the ultimate showman on the course. Just like you could see him like handing his 7-iron to you and be like, "Hey, can you hit this ball in here for me?"
Really...
Well, he'd be lefty. I don't know if you could hit a ball left-handed. Can you hit a ball left-handed?
No.
Have you tried?
Yes, me and Danny Stacks.
Oh yeah.
We big boy lefty. We had done it at one course a couple years back, and we switched clubs, and it was awful. I really thought I could. I was pumped up. I'm like, I'll hit this 500 yards. Couldn't. I don't think I made it off the tee box.
So you only took one swing?
Yeah, 1 or 2. I might have tried 2. Both went in the water, probably.
It was bad. You could putt left-handed.
Oh, sure, all day.
Yeah,
all day.
Comfortable
putting. I actually play like street hockey, left-handed, shoot left-handed.
Oh well, why didn't you could have just held the club like a hockey stick?
Yeah, I could have
taken a hack and hit it about as far as brush.
He's made it on both podcasts. He has no idea.
He's definitely not listening, so
no,
it doesn't really matter.
He's sweating the women's. Cam, I believe. Okay, so do you want to get to the point where we pick team?
Yeah.
You first, please.
All right, so
and maybe a little reason why.
Yeah, so let's just lay this out here. We are a live show, and so of course we are going to be following this tour closer than any other podcast that potentially exists on the planet Earth. And so, but you also want to have like a rooting interest because there's no reason not to. It makes it more interesting for you, and right. So why not
team in sports and.
Yeah, even if you like
baseball, football, whatever.
You talk about football, you talk about your team more than other people. Sure. I debated between 2 really hard. I debated between the High Flyers and the Fireballs.
Fireballs is Sergio.
Fireballs is Sergio, Answer, and Carlos Ortiz, and Shakara. And the High Flyers are Mickelson, of course, Wiesberger having a freaking great weekend
having a day.
Dubai right now.
Yep.
Matty Wolf. Golly, crushing the ball. So anyway, when I heard that Sergio was going to be rebranding his team from the Fireballs, slam dunk. I get to get a team with a fresh name. Of course, with all of Sergio's experience, I get one of the most experienced golfers out there. Love answers game, and of course Chikara, so much fun to watch. So
Yep.
And I'm downplaying Carlos Ortiz, but the guy's like a top 50, top 60 player in the world. So
Yep.
Stacked team, kind of underperformed last year. I looked at their 2022 tournament by tournament.
I'm a big Sergio fan.
Yeah, and once they figured out the game, of course they're all non-American born players, and so last year a lot of that traveling was more strenuous on them than it was on the American players. So we'll chalk that slow start up to them just kind of getting comfortable on the tour. Plus, I think those guys play a lot of the DP events as well, which I think is going to help. So
yeah,
I'm team Fireballs with a new name to be determined.
Very nice. It's a good pick. I, for one, oh man, I wish I could make my own 4. There's so many guys out here that I love for so many different reasons. Big DJ fan, big Pat Perez fan. Man, huge. I've always been a huge Lee Westwood fan. I watch a lot of his personal YouTube stuff, so you see him on a different level, not necessarily in the golf world, but you see him as a person, which you often see with these guys. But he's awesome. Love Louis, sweetest swing in golf. It was tough, but if you saw the first podcast, I hang all over this guy. Cam Smith. He was my favorite golfer when I was watching PGA Tour and LIV was not a thing. And it transitions into this now. Punch Golf Club by far is going to be and Mark Leishman I absolutely love too. Just that down under style, man. Those guys are just awesome. He has his own brewery. He's right up my alley. So definitely going to go with Punch this year. Love Cam, love Mark Leishman, Matt Jones, Wade Orsby. I mean, I love it. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with my choice. Okay, and since Jerome wasn't here, we need to give him. We get to pick one for him. Yeah, no, we are going to decide his team. So he is a Torque. No. Oh, Ironheads. Oh, I was going to say Torque was an easy layup one. Ironheads with Nah. Yeah, that's the only one he's going to be able to pronounce. Kevin Nah. He's got no chance with the other ones. Yeah, he's got no chance with the rest of the guys. Right? You're right. I was gonna go there with make him say his favorite players' names each week. So I like the Kevin Na because he'll feel like, that's not so bad. And then when he looks at the rest of the names, I'm not trying them. Come on, let's give him a shot. Let's give him a shot. No, all right, so we got no offense to right. No offense to Saddam Kakwajanana. Okay, I'm gonna say his name is Saddam Kanjana. Yeah, Wakanjana. Siwon Kim, easy. Yeah. This is the one. This could be is the P silent? Is it Hachara or is it Pachara or Fuchara? There's 3 ways to say that. Kong Watame? Kong Watmai for sure. Kong Watmai for sure is the apologies now. Yeah, and for you guys really. Shara, boy, he's gonna love that. They're great names. Great beautiful names. Cannot wait to watch the Ironheads and Jerome all season long. Yeah, so all these teams will be participating in 14 events this year with a little bit of an extended schedule from the inaugural season, which is awesome. More golf, can't hate on that. The tour kicks off February 24th. In Mexico, Mayakoba, El Camaleon. Cannot wait to see how CW pumps out the content, see what these guys are, what kind of shape these guys are in, because it'll be the first time that we get to see them since the final event in Miami of last year. Pretty much all these guys. I mean, a couple of them are playing in DP, but the first time to get to see these guys. So like I said, 14 events. Interestingly, some of these events are going off like just before majors, right? So it looks like March 17th to the 19th in Tucson. That's the week before the players, right? That is the week before the players, I believe.
Yeah. So not sure if these guys are even going to get invited there, but whatnot. 30 March 31st, April 2nd, Orlando Crooked Cat, April 21 to 23 is in Australia. And so it looks like
those are my guys.
Yeah, that's the one that your team's going to be taken down here for sure. April 28th to the 30th, continuing overseas in Singapore, May 12th through the 14th, Broken Arrow in Oklahoma. Then we get
course.
Yeah. Of course, these are all not all, but most of these courses are former 3-letter tour event stops that LIV has taken over. So already history on these courses, let alone let the shills for the other tour tell you that there's no history in these tournaments. These guys have played most of these courses, if not all of them. And so you'll be able to go back and see former tournaments, former champions, and see how these guys played. Through the summer, Trump National, end of May. Then some time off. You get like a full month. And somewhere in there will be the US Open, right? Before the June 30th to July 2nd trip to Spain. Can't wait for that with my Sergio Fireball team. July 7th through the 9th in London. And then coming on back to the States, August 4th through 6th in West Virginia. Circle this date in your calendars, August 11th through the 13th at Trump National in Bedminster.
Yes, sir. I'm going to that.
Yeah.
I'm making it happen.
Got to find a way to get up there, and I will. So we will have that event.
We'll have a lot of content from there.
For sure.
Hopefully.
Definitely, 100%. September 22nd.
Like taking a 7-iron from Bubba.
Oh, I hope that happens. That'd be amazing.
On the bucket list now.
Rich Harvest Farms in Sugar Grove, Illinois. And then Doral is not the championship event this year, but they do go back again late October to Doral, Miami. And they're going to finish off they're going to do the finale or the final tournament, Champions Tournament, November 3rd through 5th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So touching every corner of the earth like they should be, because golf is a global game and LIV is the global tour. So other than Bedminster and your trip to Australia, any of these events super excited about? Of course, the championship.
Arrow, I mean, I don't know. I know the Trump courses I love. I love seeing what comes from them. There's so much media around him already. So anytime any event is played at his course, it just ups everything. So that'll be fun. That's why I really want to try to get to that Bedminster course. That would be awesome.
Let's just have like Mayakoba be an awesome tournament so that we can get this thing rolling like off on a good foot. Like nobody injured, nobody decide that they aren't gonna be there. I mean, I know everyone has to play in quotes, but as long as everyone's there and healthy, and Mayakoba isn't like a total disaster, I think LIV gets off on the production and all that. I think LIV gets off on the right foot, and we'll get the season rolling, and it's going to be a tremendous time. All right. Our golf moments of the week. You play any golf, hit any golf balls this week?
I didn't play any golf. I did hit some golf balls in the cold in my backyard into the net with a set of Mizunos that I built, but that's it. Very, very few golf swings this week. Coming off that Florida trip, I wish I was back playing some golf in some warm weather, but not that it was warm when we were there anyway. But I haven't played. Have you?
One hack with my Mizunos, and you needed to build yourself some. Is that what happened?
That's right. That's right.
I went out to the range, hit, just kind of working on some mechanical things, trying to become more consistent, of course. Didn't get to play any rounds, worked a little more than usual, but became a VIP member at the country club across the street from my house. And so,
congratulations.
Charleston National, shout out.
Very nice. Gotta check it out.
Yes, it's a tight little course, goes through the community. So it's like a
9-hole course.
It's 18.
Executive course.
It's 18, 60.
Longest hole is 114 yards.
6240, I think. It's not like crazy long.
Yeah, not crazy long, but that's nice.
6240 is where it plays. So Yeah, I played there. I played there a bunch. It's, you know, if you are,
it was about time.
Yeah, it was about time. You know, I gave them a lot of my money
Right.
before I realized I could get discounted tea times. So I'm gonna do that for the year. I booked a round for next Monday, so that'll be my first VIP round. Be awesome.
Good luck. Got to hear about it next week.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around. Please give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok. What am I missing? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you're watching,
YouTube's a big one.
Hit subscribe. We are constantly throwing out little stupid videos that get millions of views. So you can say that you're subscribed to these little stupid videos with millions of views. So
check me out at Mac_GTT.
Yeah, plug yourself.
Mac_GTT on Instagram. Always trying to keep things fresh with Liv and posting memes and just trying to keep it, like I said, keep it fresh.
All right. That's it. Let's get the fuck out of here. Peace.
Later.